Welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news. I hope you're all doing very well this morning. It is the big day. It's the return of football. It's Bundesliga. It's Dortmund versus Sancho. If you want to check out the Sancho watch or just whatever, a watch along, the link's in the video description for that. That's going to be on Mark Goldbridge. That's football. We're going to start off with Jadon Sancho. Bit of a transfer twist. Also, something coming in about Timo Werner, which I think is very interesting as well. But in relation to this game, I mean, some of the source that we've got today, or some of the information we've got today, is coming in from David Ornstein, and he says that Jadon Sancho has an injury, a calf injury, and won't start the game today. He'll be on the bench, which is a little bit disappointing, but we'll have to wait and see with that. As I said, links in the video description. Get over that for the watch along this afternoon. What else are you going to do? Mark Goldbridge, that's football, watch along. But of more interest, it's the transfer talk and some quite interesting stuff coming from David Ornstein about Timo Werner and Manchester United leading the pursuit for him. We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's talk about Jadon Sancho because there's a combination of stories about this. Jan Arge Fjortoft, who does a lot of work around Germany, formerly of Swindon, quite a big following on Twitter, not necessarily saying he's Mr. Credible, but he's come out and said, I've spoken to people at Dortmund and there's mixed messages there. Sancho wants to leave Manchester United, leave Borussia Dortmund, I think we all know that, but his future in some ways is a little bit up in the air because you talk to some people and they've got a great relationship with Liverpool and he's going to Liverpool, and then you talk to other people and he's going to Manchester United. I think that with Jadon Sancho, and you know, I don't want to go over old ground, I want to go over new ground. With Jadon Sancho, today, as I said last night, is quite an interesting game because if he plays today, and in some ways, I know we want to see Sancho later, and we definitely do, but in some ways, if you want him to come to Manchester United, do you not want him to have a little bit of a calf strain for a month and miss the last bit of the season? Because if he plays today, which I think he will, and he plays well, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, they're all PSG, they've got nothing else to do. They're not cleaning out the garage for the 10th time in the last few weeks. They're going to be watching football. There's no other decent football to watch today other than Dortmund Schalke or another German game. So everybody, not just as United fans, everybody's going to watch it. And if he scores a hat-trick or he's the man of the match, people are going to go, we need to get him. Because people are going to... It's like McDonald's isn't open anymore in the UK, apart from London, because we live in a London-centric country. Don't get me started on that. Oh, London. Everything happens in London. Nothing exists outside London. So we haven't had McDonald's reopened up to us yet up north. And so basically, I'm not a massive fan of McDonald's. I quite like a McDonald's. I tell you what, I bloody love a McDonald's now because I can't have it. And before lockdown, if somebody said, do you want a McDonald's? I probably would have said, you know what, I'll have a KFC. I'll have a Burger King. I wasn't that fussed about McDonald's, right? And I think before the lockdown, I think Barcelona, I'm not saying Sancho's a McDonald's, but I'm just saying Barcelona, Real Madrid, maybe we're like, we'll have a KFC. We'll go for a Pogba, or we'll go for a Neymar, or we'll go for somebody else. But now, only McDonald's is on the menu. Only Jadon Sancho is on the menu today because KFC and everyone else, they're not open. So Real Madrid, Barcelona, their eyes will be, I quite fancy a Big Mac at the moment. And that's the problem with the Sancho thing. It's that, I think United lead the race. I think United push their way to the front. But if all we've got is a Bundesliga open and Sancho, a lot of eyes will be looking at him and it could be an opportunity. But 100% the situation is this. No deal's been done with United. He will have preferences. There will have been talks with his agent, but the talks with Dortmund will not happen until the season is completed and there's some clarity on whether seasons are going to be completed and when the transfer window is going to be open. And when that happens, there could well be interest from Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, Liverpool, and we'll have to be a bit careful about that. Mark, best birthday present for me today. Football's back. Can I have a shout out at Darren Saundon? Keep up the good work, lads, says Everything United, or Darren. Well, happy birthday to Darren. Announce Greg's opening, says Wolverine Scratch. So, just to clarify, I mean, I think this was from the same story. So, David Ornstein is a credible journalist. He's been talking this morning about the Timo Werner thing, but apparently he's also spoken about Jadon Sancho and said that Dortmund will not let Sancho go for anything less than €120 million, which is just over £100 million. Well, I'm going to disagree with him on that one, and I totally agree with people going with David on it. You know, he's a very credible journalist, but I disagree on this. I don't think United will go above £90 million for Jadon Sancho. I just do not see a £100 million transfer happening. I think what's happening is Dortmund, and they've done it a lot over the last few weeks, They're just putting the soundbite out there that they want 100 million because that's what they want at the moment. But the world's going to change. It's already changing. So Sancho, to me, will not go for anything more than £90 million, and I'm going to stick on that. But, you know, I'm going to give you the fair news as well. So, yeah, Sancho, apparently, Liverpool could be interested, Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona. Look, I think they're all interested, but it doesn't change my opinion that Manchester United are at the front of that queue. And at the moment, Manchester United are in a strong position. And ultimately as well, let's not forget this, it will always come down to, and there is a story about Liverpool not buying anybody this summer. You know, whether it's Werner or Sancho, they're not going to buy anybody. So if that is the case with that, then how are they going to buy Sancho? And I think that's a very important thing. We already know Real Madrid do not have the money to sign Paul Pogba. We already know that Barcelona have wasted over £350 million on 3 flop over £100 million signings in Griezmann, Dembele and Coutinho. Are they going to do it again? Have they got the funds to do that again? Fabrizio Romano was on the show 3 weeks ago saying that Barcelona are losing €5 million a day. So Manchester United fans, I think that we just have to keep our heads and go, look, financially, we're not putting people on furlough. Financially, we're not doing things that we're not struggling as much as others. We will struggle. We definitely will struggle. But it's how much we're going to struggle. And if football comes back and we complete the season, I see a scenario, as I said a few weeks ago, where United could be brave and say, look, football will come back properly with fans, with revenues, and we will continue to pour the money in. And if we get hold of Sancho... I mean, look, if Liverpool aren't signing players because of the financial crisis, bada bing, bada boom, there's an opportunity that you should take. Remember, we're in a race here and we're a long way behind. And if the person in the front of the race decides at the water station, I'm not going to take any water on, well, there's a chance that over the next bit of the race, they're going to dehydrate and slow down. If we take the water on, all right, we're behind, but we can close up on them. So I think that's a good analogy there for once, whereby Liverpool are not going to invest this summer, apparently, again. And they're these leaders of the pack. That's an opportunity for us to maybe invest a couple of times and close that gap. Funny lately how mainstream football outlets use United stories after you discuss it, Mark, says Guido Martini. I've seen it a couple of times, but look, you know, they'll never give us any credit, will they? Because we're a fan channel. We're fans. We don't matter. We've not been to journalist school or anything like that. Talk about Moussa Dembele, says Rob Sutherland. I'll talk about Moussa Dembele for you. It's a load of crap. We haven't signed him. We've not agreed a deal. I said it last night. I think United are interested in Moussa Dembele, but I do not believe for one moment that we've made a bid and all this crap that's floating around. It's a website in Spain that I'd never really heard of that's saying it. Talking of which, let me just bring this in before I talk about Timo Werner. Another website for you, allnigeriasoccer.com. You'll like this story, though. If you like those sort of United have signed Moussa Dembele for 70 million because the Spanish website says so, you'll like this one. Allnigeriasoccer.com. Saw this on the Manchester Evening News. Got no idea how credible they are. They're saying that Leicester will resist any attempts from Manchester United and PSG to sign Ndidi. There's not been any talks with Ndidi yet, but they retain interest in him. Well, yeah, I've never heard of that website, and I would love United to be interested in Ndidi, but I bring it out on this transfer show this morning to convey a point. That story will probably end up in 3 or 4 mainstream media outlets tomorrow morning in the UK. Even though that website, never really heard of it, certainly don't remember them ever announcing a signing or anything before anybody else. That will go mainstream media tomorrow, and you will be saying, oh, Ndidi's coming to United for 60 million. I guarantee, because that's how it's working at the moment. Little stories turn into big stories. Hey mate, don't know if I've missed anything. Have you covered the title story as yet, says Josh Sutton. Well, yes and no. Sandro Tonali is Carrick and Ndidi in one. Amazing, says Ital. And I would like Tonali to come to Manchester United. I've said that before, but Ndidi would be my perfect CDM. I don't think it's going to happen. Any news on Jude Bellingham, says Ishan. Nothing that I don't think we don't already know. I think Jude Bellingham is a player that United are interested in. We know for a fact he's visited Carrington. We know Dortmund are interested in him. And we know Birmingham need the money. So I would hope that there's a deal that United can do there. And we might be able to do a good deal. Because of the lockdown. And I hope we do get that deal done. Do a Werner watch-along instead, says Talal. Well, nice little transition there, Talal. So RB Leipzig are playing this afternoon. They're playing at 2:30. The link's in the video description. We're going to do Dortmund versus Schalke on my channel, Mark Goldbridge. That's football. The live chat is already open if you want to pop over there. There's people on there building it up already, but I will go live at about 2:15. Watch along, excited, football, bring it on. But Leipzig are also playing at 2:30 because this is how it works in the Bundesliga. They tend to have games kicking off at 2:30. I think there's one at 5 o'clock. There's another couple tomorrow, and then there's Monday night Leverkusen, which I might do as a watch along because I like Leverkusen. Why buy Dembele when you can get Werner for a little bit more? Says Jack Brown 852. So on Timo Werner, and I'm just going to get a little bit of clarity on this on my phone. But no, I'll come to that in a minute. So basically, what David Ornstein is saying about Timo Werner is that Werner has held talks with Leipzig, Klopp, Manchester United, and Barcelona, but he favours a move to Liverpool. However, they aren't going to enter the market this summer transfer window. So United are the side that are being more proactive, although apparently Chelsea showed some interest in January. So there's a lot of interest around Timo Werner. Timo Werner, for me, I think if I wasn't still on a honeymoon with Bruno Fernandes, I always have a player that that I'm very what's the word? Obsessed with, I suppose. And Timo Werner, if anybody is watching my Manchester United career mode, this is probably the first one where I haven't just gone out and bought Timo Werner straight away. I'm a big fan of Timo Werner. I have been for a couple of years. I think he's ready to. I think he's always been primed to take that step up from RB Leipzig, and I think that will happen. And I think he wants to go this summer. I really do. Do I think United are going to get him? Well, look again. If Liverpool are not entering this market, I always feel that Liverpool are favourites to sign Timo Werner, and I can say this with great honesty because I did it with Fabinho. I wanted Fabinho. He went to Liverpool. You get Liverpool fans saying, "Ha ha ha, hold the L," and and I think they expect you to then go, "Oh, he's crap anyway. He's just a Brazilian Bakayoko." I didn't. I said I like Fabinho, and even when Fabinho did crap at Liverpool at the start, I said I still like Fabinho, and then he's become good. If Liverpool get Werner, I'm not going to change my opinion. I think he's a very, very good player and he's a very good signing for them. And I think his preference probably is Liverpool. But if Liverpool don't do anything with it and United are being proactive, then Timo Werner at Manchester United would be as exciting a signing, and some would say even more exciting a signing, than Bruno Fernandes. I think it'd be a massive signing. Now, what David Ornstein has said is that he's got a clause this summer which is 60 million. In 2021, it's 40 million, and in 2022, it's 25 million. And it ends on June the 15th each year. Liverpool not planning any major business during the crisis. So, Timo Werner currently wants Liverpool or RB Leipzig, stay. Spoke to Klopp, Man United and Barcelona. Clause this summer is 60 million euro, and then 2021 it's 40 million euro, and 2022 it's 25 million euro. So, yeah, Leipzig could keep hold of him, or he could sign a new contract, but he's available for 47.5 million this summer before June the 15th. And everybody who's just said that there is absolutely spot on. Dembele is going to cost you more. Igalo is going to cost you half. You can get Timo Werner for £47.5 million. I mean, I don't... Well, you know what, actually, it is a factor, isn't it? Money is always going to be a factor. And I look at it and go, I want Timo Werner and I think he's an £80 million player. But if you can get him for that... And this is where aggression comes into it. Remember, I've always said, and a lot of you have said it as well, we need to be aggressive in the transfer window and ruthless. Well, look, Igalo loves being at Manchester United, but he's very expensive. His wages are very expensive, and the Chinese club that he plays for in Shanghai want a lot of money for him. Timo Werner's wages are way less than Igalo. Igalo's on 300k a week in China. Timo Werner will not be on that much money at RB Leipzig. And he's also got a very decent release clause of around 50 million quid. United should be proactive on this deal, and they should be trying to do it. I suppose the question on everybody's mind is, what can United do Sancho and Werner? And I think they can. I do think they can, and I think they should. I don't know whether they will, but I would rather get Sancho and Werner than Sancho and Grealish. Oh, that's controversial, but if Pogba's staying, I would rather get Sancho and Werner than Sancho and Grealish, because if Pogba stays, we've got a lot of options in that midfield. We have got a lot of options in that midfield. So, yeah, I would like Manchester United to get Werner. If you don't get Sancho or Werner, you could get Suarez, says Paul the meme. Yeah, mate, I'd rather play you up front. I really would. Chief Leaf Gamer says, will there be 5 subs in the games today? I presume so. I know they were talking about that in the Premier League. And Sahil says, is Timo Werner similar to Rashford, Martial, Greenwood than Dembele? Yeah, but I think that's a good thing, Sahil, and I think you've made a good point there. I think Moussa Dembele is a striker. And I think that Raul Jimenez, as we spoke about last night, is a striker. And I think Harry Kane is a striker. And I think when you play them in the Anthony Martial role, or you don't play them at all. I don't think that helps United. I think Anthony Martial this season has shown that he is a number 9, and he should play as a number 9. Now, why would you buy Moussa Dembele or Harry Kane or Raul Jimenez to threaten Martial's position? Because they can only play in Martial's position. If you buy Timo Werner, he can play Martial's position, he can play Rashford's position, he can probably play Bruno's position, and he can play Sancho's position. And that, to me, is more important, because we know Greenwood can play in 3 positions, we know Rashford can play 3 positions, we know Martial can play 2 positions, Sancho can probably play 2 or 3 positions as well. So if you bring Werner in, I don't think we need a specialist striker. I think we need another striker, and I would rather have a striker that can play in numerous positions, because you will get injuries. You will get another Rashford. You will, Martial does pick up injuries as well. If we got Werner and Sancho, what about Martial? Says Jake. Well, I think I've just answered that for you. I think squad rotation is very important, as is depth. Yes, I've got my Champions League second leg against Man City coming up tonight. That's on That's Football at 6:30. But before that, the watch-along at 2:30. The link is in the video description for that. Watch-alongs are back on Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. Dortmund versus Schalke. Very excited about it. Make sure you click the link in the video description. Pop over there, subscribe, and the live chat's open already. But in summary of what we've been talking about today then, Sancho is becoming what we predicted it would be last night. He is the McDonald's. He's the only desirable food that's open at the moment. There is all eyes on Jadon Sancho, because if you're a football fan, the eyes can only be on Jadon Sancho. And this might whet the appetite of clubs that weren't in the race. So, look, as I said, I don't want Sancho to be injured, and I think he will play today. But if he's not playing and he has some injury problems, is that a bad thing for us? Look, if Jadon Sancho didn't play another game for Dortmund because he had an injury, would we still want him? Yes, we would. If he plays every game and scores a hat-trick in every game, his price is going to go up and more people are going to be interested in him. Is that good for us or bad for us? So, I don't know. Also, Timo Werner, David Ornstein saying that Liverpool not looking to do any business in the market, even though they'd be favourites for him, but Manchester United have been proactive. So look, let's see what we can do. Again, this horrible worldwide crisis is not great, but it's happened, and United could be in a position to take advantage of it from a football market point of view. Also, finally, Milinkovic-Savic, Gazzetta dello Sport saying he's got no intention of leaving. Hopefully that will put an end to any story. I don't think it will. I think we will talk about him again at some point. But I always felt that Milinkovic-Savic was a Mourinho target when he was at United that just keeps being attached to us because of that interest a couple of years ago. However, he's apparently said he's going to stay at Lazio. And I think he's staying at Lazio because he knows, Milinkovic-Savic is the Serie A James Maddison. I'm sure he wants to move, and I'm sure James Maddison wants to move. But very early in this crisis, they will know their move is gone. They're not going to be the major signing of the summer, and people are not going to have the money that Leicester or Lazio want to sign them. So I think Milinkovic-Savic will stay put. If not Sancho, which right winger? Says Ital. Well, that's the £100 million question. And Praffel says, if you buy Timo Werner, will you consider a good season long loan of Greenwood to play 50 games for experience? Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, look, people say this a lot. Well, if you get Werner or Dembele, what happens to Martial? We've got Rashford, Martial, and nobody really. Dan James and Greenwood. What happened this season when Rashford got injured? Oh, we're screwed. What happened when Martial was injured? We're screwed. We need more depth up front. So we've got Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Dan James. We need 2 more. You need 6. You've got 3 positions up front. You need 6 players. You need 2 for each position. So for me, next season, I'd like to see Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, James, Sancho, Werner. That is perfect. And people saying, well, who's going to play and who's not going to play? You've always got somebody injured. You've always got somebody out of form. You've always got squad rotation. You've always got loads of games. You've got a bench. 6 is fine. It's absolutely fine. And I tell you what, with that 6, Greenwood would still get a lot of time. And, maybe over the course of the season, somebody drops off and they have to get sold the summer after. That's what competition for places is at the end of the day. Hicksman says, I'm just about to play Burnley in my career mode. Good luck, mate. And Dan James is back up for Rashford. Greenwood back up for Sancho. And Martial, says Hawkshead. It's not enough, mate. You've named 4 players for 6 positions. That is not enough. So what happens when Rashford gets injury and you play Dan James? Who comes on for Dan James when he's having a bad game? It's not 4 players for 6 positions is not enough. And I think a lot of people get lost in this because we talk about it quite a lot. I don't want another striker because we got Martial. You've got to... I've seen it. We had 4 strikers for 2 positions in '99. We won a Champions League because Solskjaer and Sheringham came on and York and Cole didn't do the business in that final. You've got to have 2 players for each position. We've got 3 forward positions. We need 6 attackers. And that's been a big problem with United this season. We went into this season too lightweight and now we think that's the norm. It's not. You need 6 players for 3 positions. 100%. Whether we'll have that, I don't know. Welcome to Joy, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Right, thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you check out the 4-4 Tunes video from yesterday on the homepage. That was brilliant. And also, I'll be live in just over 3 hours' time. Links in the video description. Dortmund versus Schalke watch along on Mark Goldbridge. That's football. It's not on this channel. It's on that channel. Links in the video description. Get over there, subscribe, get ready for it. We'll be back on this channel tonight with the quiz. Saturday night quiz as per usual, 8 o'clock. But this afternoon, the watch along. Link in the video description. I'll speak to you all soon. Have a good day, and I'll see you on the watch along.